Logos POW.
So it's time to look at 4 poor Megadrive Fighting games. Let's have a look. Right, so first off we have, with no intro whatsoever, Time Killers. Oh dear. So, lineup of people to play with, lovely. It's like very, very generic characters. Matrix! Let's go and enter the Matrix. Now, I remember this was... Oh my god, the graphics are awful! I remember this in the arcades, and a friend was... Holy crap. Shit. As I was going to say, a friend, acquaintance, loved it. And I hadn't played it, I didn't even know what it was. And he said, oh, I'm playing this great game in the arcades called Time Killers, it's great. I said, oh, that's nice. What kind of game is it? Oh, you've got 2 characters and you fight each other and their limbs fall off. And I said, oh, what? So it's like Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter? Oh, no, it's nothing like Street Fighter. Street Fighter's cartoony. Yeah, okay. And this isn't? It's also ridiculously gory. And has he got camel toe going on? Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what's going on. Let's give that another quick bash. Let's pick someone else. Let's pick Wolf, because he looks a bit like King Arthur from Ghouls and Ghosts. And we're fighting the same character again. Orion. Come on, King Arthur. What is going on with the colour in this as well? I mean, is there any special moves? Not that I can work out. Go on, King Arthur, you can do it! Or not. And what was with that crazy tumbling animation? That's really, really weird. Christ almighty. And I've got decapitated. Well, okay. I want to fight somebody other than Captain Camel Toe. Let's fight with Captain Camel Toe and see what happens. No, we're fighting Camel Toe versus Camel Toe in a battle of the bodysuits. Yeah, this is not very good at all whatsoever. But I'll tell you what, let's ask Synyster Graves and see what he thinks of it. He likes a good beat 'em up.
Thank you very much, Bluggo. I'm very pleased to be here. So yeah, so we're starting off with Time Killers. What can I say about this? So yeah, it's a beat 'em up. Yes, it's got 8 characters in it, certainly the Mega Drive version, which I've played. There are some odd ones on here. There's like a weird cyborg, there's a knight, we've got a samurai, we've got a Viking, and then we've got some weird insectoid thing and a caveman. So one can only assume that they're trying to go on the sort of world heroes sort of vibe of having characters throughout time. But when the alien is a weird ant thing with strange pincers and, well, it handles like crap basically. It doesn't handle very smoothly at all. It's very, very stiff to control. Nothing seems to make sense, and there just seems to just be more emphasis on having fountains of blood pouring out of you rather than actually having some kind of, I don't know, good beat 'em up. I mean, is that too much to ask for? That you just, I can't even sort of work out any like special moves. There just seems to be very sort of staccato movements and fountains of blood coming out, and occasionally you'll do a move and your limbs fall off. I mean, not just slightly fall off, they come spiralling off for absolutely no reason. Like, you can just literally get one hit killed with some weird decapitation move. which you can sit there wearing someone down, and before you know it, your head's gone flying off. I can kind of see what they're trying to do, but it's like a cartoon version of Mortal Kombat. And not a good cartoon version of Mortal Kombat. I mean, yeah, sure, you could remove all the limbs of a character and they can't fight back. Great tactic, but I mean this is mid-fight. It's not like there's a fatality at the end. It's not like there's a button combination to do at the end, and then you finish them off. It's just weird. Is it terrible? I suppose it's not terrible per se. It's just weird. And at the end of every match, it actually counts how many heads and arms you've removed. So, like, everyone loves a bit of stats. This just kind of says how many limbs have been viciously removed in combat. But it's strange. It's not terrible, it's just odd. And that's the best way I could sum up Time Killers, to be perfectly honest.
Yep, thanks man. I'm gonna go with odd as well, but I think it is absolutely diabolically implemented and as janky as absolute fuck. So yeah, should we move along from that? Oh fuck. Right, so here's a game I haven't played before. This is Balls, and is it a load of balls or is it just a clever name? Who knows? It's Balls. Let's have a look. Select your character. Kronk, Boomer, Baby Boomer, Bruiser, Turbo, Tsunami, Yoko, Divine. Ooh. Crusher, Kronk. Oh, it's a freaky clown now. I'll just go with the ballet dancer because female characters and all, you know. Right, so that's censored. Oh, well, we started. What the fuck? Okay, I have no idea what's going on here. Right, that appears to be a kick button. I'll kick the clown in the face. And jump is on a button. That's always fun, having jump on a button. And you can tell it's sort of rotating around. There doesn't seem any buttons to actually control the rotation, so it seems to be sort of a bit random. So that's a bit strange. Oh, and we have shattered and razzed a clown. Have you shattered and razzed a clown today? Who else has shattered and razzed a clown? Yeah, okay, just get on with it. Oh, okay, so that was the first match. So I'm playing the clown again. Okay, that's fine. I can deal with that. 2 rounds, that's fine. I must say, it's fairly technically impressive. Oh, I'm going to instant replay. Let's skip that. It doesn't give you any chance, any countdown into a round, but it is fairly impressive technically. Is that somebody's arse in the background? Yes, it was. Unusual idea, maybe inspired by one too many Amiga demo scene discs back in the day, maybe. I'm not entirely sure what's going on, but stuff's happening and shattered again. Fantastic. Oh, that was very unusual. It's all very, very unusual. I'm sort of distracted by the little TV screens in the background showing a lot of very, very strange adverts and animations and things. But it is very unusual. Very unusual indeed. Right, so since I have him on here, let's go across to Synyster Graves for a look at this from his perspective.
Right, yeah, so yeah, next up... Wait, what did you just call me? It's Synyster Graves. You got it right beforehand. It's just Synyster Graves. Anyway, yeah, so the next up I want to hear is Balls. And to be honest, I don't think I've ever come across a game which describes how it is in the title. This game is just ridiculous. I mean, the thing that struck you first of all, it's the music. The music at the beginning just, it sounds like a hip-hop 90s adult film. There's a lot of suspect noises going on. I don't want to delve into that too much. So let's make fun of the character design. So, as you can guess, they're a load of polygonal balls, and we've got a caveman. There's a clown that looks like he's dry humping the air. There's like, well, just some weird fighters, martial artists, and some female thing with weird ball boobs. But yeah, let's just go beyond that just for a second, and let's talk about the gameplay. So, for a start, it's trying to go 3D. That much is true. It's confusing. Nothing seems to make sense. It's just, you just end up button mashing a lot, and just, well, it's like every character's like Dowsim. They've got some weird range to it, and the more you hit characters, they lose their balls. When I say that, I mean they just take damage by becoming smaller. And then there's the commentary. There's a big screen in the back, which is supposed to be some ironic, amusing commentary, like kiss the canvas, administer smackies, and oomph. That's not helpful or funny. It's just strange. I mean, the fact that there's a jump button, most games have, you press up on the D-pad to jump, but you don't have that. You have a button to jump, and then when you defeat your enemy, they just burst into a load of balls. I don't think I can really say much more than that, apart from why? Why would you want to play this game? It's odd. It's tried to do the kind of 3D thing, and just wildly rotates around, having a load of dismembered balls everywhere. It's like a game of marbles, except it's terrible. And the clown thing's still weirding me out. It looks like a weird ball version of Ronald McDonald, so I'm just going to leave that there and say, yeah, this is not a fun game to play. It's just strange.
Right, thanks for that, man. Yeah, it's got to be admired for its for the technical aspect here, but it just doesn't make a very fun game. It's damn sight better than Time Killers, that's for sure. Might be worth loading up just to satisfy some morbid balls-based curiosity you may have. I don't know. Right, so next up we have the legendary Shaq Fu. Now, I didn't know until today this was made by Delphine Software, you know, the people who make Flashback and Another World. So let's start with the story mode. Well, let's just play the story mode, because that's where the meat of the game is going to be, I'd imagine, if you're playing single player like me. So downtown Tokyo, that doesn't look much like Tokyo, but hey, I've never been there. Yeah, story, exposition, Pepsi adverts, old man. Let's skip this. So you have a world map, and you can move Shaq around the map. Shaq map, and then you can go to the various stages, and each stage will be a fight. So let's go to the wasteland. Do you know where I can find Set and the boy? It's not like Bimmy and the knife. Okay. So this has got smaller graphics than I remember it having. Let's try the Rise of the Robots trick. That's not working so well, and I'm not entirely sure what all the buttons do, but there's definitely some kicking. And if you're a basketball player, you've got really long legs. Now, I don't think this deserves all the rap it got at the time. The main problem is this is post Street Fighter and post Mortal Kombat, so it's obviously going to be unfavourably compared to those games. And we got a KO, and I won. Money on the spot, Shaq. Good job. And the graphics are nice, but they're just really, really small. I mean, compare this to Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat. These are really, really small sprites, but they're nice sprites. We like them. But Oh, the whole screen does it then. It's just disappointing. I don't think it's a case of it's a bad game particularly. It's not very good either. It's just not a Street Fighter game. And the map screen is quite nice. Let's go to the North Gate. Want to go to the North Gate? There we go. Gonna rock your chair, Grandpa. I mean, this guy is like half the size of Shaquille O'Neal. It's not really a fair fight, is it? Especially when you've got huge long legs to kick you in the face with. I'm not, you know, this is not dreadful. I mean, God, I think it's better than Time Killers. I'm not even going to talk about Balls as a comparison because it's not really. Balls was barely a demo. But it's not as bad as people make out. I mean, people always say worst games of all time, and they talk about E.T. and then they talk about Shaq Fu, and it's competently programmed. It's just not keeping up with what was going on the market at the time, which of course was two fighting game monoliths of Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat. But shall we see what Synyster Graves has to say about this next?
So yeah, so Shaq Fu... Wait, what? Seriously? Synyster Graves, like something evil followed by a tombstone. It's not that hard. Oh. Anyway, Shaq Fu. What a ridiculous game this is. This is, of course, Shaquille O'Neal, massive star, massive basketball star. Goes to Tokyo, ends up in a weird Chinese shop, ends up Narnia style in some weird phantasmical realm, and he's got to fight like a cat lady, like Prince of Flippin' Persia. I mean, it's just, there's like a mummy in it, there's like a phantom. The cast of characters are strange, but pulling off the special moves, it's not easy. It's just really odd. It feels very inorganic, and you just spend the whole time just running around and in the end resorting to a crouching punch to actually do anything. But you go through the levels, it's almost like a progressive game, but each level seems to get more ridiculous, culminating in some lava demon and the mummy. The final boss is the mummy, who seems to have Legion of Doom armor. And yeah, at the end of the game, he ends up going to his All-Stars game, and the lava demon is there, and it's just like you just sit there wondering what you're doing. It's just a bit strange. Why Shaq? Of all people, it doesn't seem to make sense why you would have Shaq in a beat 'em up. A basketball game, sure, but a beat 'em up? I mean, and well, let's not ignore the fact it's terrible. It's really clunky. It looks kind of silly and cartoony. You can't even tell it's Shaq. It looks more like Michael Jordan, to be honest, most of the time. But it's just naff, and I just don't understand why you seriously want to sit there and play it all the time. It just handles badly, and that's my personal opinion of it.
Yeah, thanks for that, dude. It's not that grand, is it? In retrospect, I just realised that if you're playing with a 3-button pad, you have to press start to alternate between punches and kicks, so that's a bit shit too. Yeah, so we move along a bit from that one. Right, so next up we have Double Dragon 5 or V. I'm not sure. Was there a fourth Double Dragon? Anyway, let's have a look at this. So tournament versus, just go to quest mode, because that's going to be like the story mode, isn't it? Okay. So pick your character. So Bimmy and Jimmy are there. Like Ice Pick Bones. Okay. T Happy. Is he the Happy? Terry Happy? Happy. Let's go with Sekka. Oh, you can change her colour. Oh, nice. Oh, okay, so I can fiddle with some attributes here. Now we're going to leave them as they are. Okay. So, greetings you, Shadow Warrior, yeah, Jimmy Lee, my former apprentice, yada yada yada. Presentation's quite nice. I'm sort of rocking that. That's quite good. So, locations map, and we're going there. And we're fighting... Oh, ourselves. Mirror match first off. Okay, brilliant. Right. Oh, a little bit of blood. Now, instantly, the graphics on this are more appealing than all the other games put together. And nothing to do with the fact of what she's wearing. No, they seem to be large, bold, well-drawn, fairly well animated, I suppose. Still those special moves straight off the bat that I can work out. And I've lost her out. Shit. Well, of course she did. She's fighting herself. Okay, roundy 2. Let's boogaloo. Low kick always works. Apart from that time. Or that time. Yeah, okay, that's not working. Oh, I'm dizzied. Oh dear, and I'm out. Yeah, this isn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. Quite pleasantly surprised so far. Right, so moving on, we are now playing as a very buff looking Jimmy. With a sword. I don't remember having a sword as default in Double Dragon, but okay, we'll go with that. There's a very dodgy looking woman and knight in the background as well. It's still not really going to win you over, like, putting Street Fighter in, is it? Cody's Nutron Grill. That's something Street Fighter doesn't have, a Nutron Grill. So, roundy 2 against Ice Pick, or Toothpick. I'm looking at the background. Did I just walk in some kind of softcore porn shoe or something and have a fight against a guy called Ice Pick? Okay, definitely easier with Jimmy. Yeah, I wouldn't say I'm pleasantly surprised, but I'm slightly surprised in a slightly good way. This isn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. I mean, it's not fantastic by any stretch of animation. It's not even that good. But hey, let's see what Malevolent Mausoleum has to say about this.
Yeah, thanks. What? No, that's not even close. You know what? I can't. I'm not going to explain how to say my name anymore. Just call me whatever you'd like, buddy. Anyway, what have you got here? Oh, Double Dragon 5, The Shadow Falls. Right, so Double Dragon, we all know that as a scrolling beat 'em up normally. You take Billy and Jimmy Lee, or Bimmy and Jimmy Lee, depending on which region you're in, and you walk along the streets beating up a gang. Well, this is a one-on-one fighter, and it's just odd. It's really, really hard to control. I mean, Billy and Jimmy have jaws like breeze blocks. You've got some weird cyborgs. They fire lasers out their eyes, and there's some... I can't explain half the characters in it. It feels really weird. It's kind of cartoony, but there's like blood in it. But the blood is really bright red, pretty much like everyone's just exuding strawberry jelly in the event that they get slapped. The special moves are weird. I don't know why Billy and Jimmy have got these kind of almost hooky broken souls like Cabal from Mortal Kombat. I mean, they didn't have that in the normal Double Dragon games, and it's almost like futuristic. And why is Double Dragon now in the future? It always used to be a kind of 80s style film beat 'em up kind of feel to it. Now all of a sudden it's gone sci-fi, and there's I can only assume T happy, it means trigger happy with his rifle arm, and then you got a guy with a metal jaw, and yeah, it's just really confusing. I mean, the way it looks isn't atrocious. It's a bit like sort of Time Killers again, that it's kind of cartoony but bloody, but it doesn't handle very nicely. It's very confusing, and you just end up button mashing a lot and swearing a lot. It's absolute pants. And again, why break away from the scrolling beat 'em up we got used to Double Dragon, even when Double Dragon teamed up with Battletoads? But no, they decided to make a one-on-one fighter, which quite frankly is not much better than Rise of the Robots. To be honest, that's my kind of summation of it. I don't know what you want to make of it, mate, but it's crap. Thank you, buddy.
Right, thanks for that, Groovy Man. This is possibly the best of the bunch, and I thought it was just going to be just as bad as Time Killers, to be honest. It's by no means a good game, but this might actually be worth a little bit of your time. I think I've played more than my government recommends a daily allowance of it today, but maybe you can too sometime. So there was 4 poor Megadrive fighting games. Thanks to Sinky Gnomes for popping along and giving his opinions.
Fucking hell.
Links to his channel and Twitter are below. But what did you think of them?
Yeah, subscribe or naff off.